Watch sand fall, one grain at a time. For a while, nothing much happens. Then a tiny slide, then a big one. And you cannot predict which. A snowy slope does the same. Most days, the snow just sits there. One flake too many, and it lets go. So what sets the size of the slide? Here is the plan. First, a pile that builds its own pattern. Grains pile up and topple into a shape. Second, the simple rule. A full spot spills one grain to each neighbor. Third, one grain, any size of avalanche. The same nudge can do nothing or everything. Fourth, no typical size. The avalanches follow a power law. Finally, earthquakes, avalanches, and brains. One rule hiding across nature. Drop grains of sand on a single spot. The little pile grows taller and taller. When a spot gets too steep, it topples. Grains spill to the neighbors around it. A pattern starts to spread outward. Keep dropping, and the spills cascade. Order appears with no designer at all. This delicate mandala is pure arithmetic. Just counting grains, over and over. Here is the only rule. Give each spot a count of its grains. If a spot reaches 4, it topples. It loses 4 and gives 1 to each neighbor. That is the entire law. One topple can push a neighbor to 4. So that neighbor topples as well. A single grain can start a chain. We call that chain an avalanche. Now fill the grid near its limit. Almost every spot holds 3 grains. 3 is just 1 short of toppling. The whole pile now sits at the brink. 1 more grain can change everything. Sometimes the grain does nothing. Sometimes a small patch slides. Sometimes the whole grid cascades. Same grain, wildly different results. Count how often each size happens. Tiny avalanches are extremely common. Huge ones are rare, but they do occur. There is no typical size at all. This pattern is called a power law. Small and large share one simple curve. So the next avalanche could be anything. You cannot predict its size. Real earthquakes follow the same curve. Tiny tremors constantly, giant quakes rarely. Snow avalanches and forest fires too. Each system sits at its own tipping point. Physicists named this self-organized criticality. Systems that tune themselves to the edge. Even neurons in your brain may do it. One sandpile rule, echoing everywhere. From one rule, a universe of avalanches. Most small, a few enormous, none foreseen. Order and catastrophe, from counting grains.